My heart drips, ravenous from the decrepit, desolate place it's been. The feelings of parasite eating the valves that used to resemble where love was kept. What was the cause? I can't help but sweat and fret about the delusional and the games, the delusion and the games you kept. Fraudulent articulation with a life of inadequate revelations to be my one and only baby. Dingy compensations for a lifetime of escorting traumatic, tantalizing moments of regret. I relatively despised who I became. No, I played a part in the quest of fameless Hunger Games. Keen perception from vigorous walks with Jesus to repair the seamless, unwary, contradictory existence disguised heartache painstakingly that drew all the blood away. Blew my reputation for innocent adulation. This vandalism of my aortic pump of feelings will be vindicated. This poignant reality shall be but a dream, remitting my affliction to the King, healer of all things. Welcome to Candyology. My name is CandyJ, and I wrote Dysfunctional Reality right after my divorce. When I tell you the heartache and pain that I went through in this relationship of 15 years. I was married for 14 of those, but as you can see, it all ended in heartache. And I wasn't quite sure what my part was at some point, but this is how I felt. Can you feel it? Yeah. Man, girl. Let me tell you that this remitting my affliction to the King, healer of all things. When I tell you I got down on my knees every single day after this divorce, and keep in mind, I'm a PK, so I already know how to pray. Okay. I know who to go to when I need things. But when I say at the end of this road, because he had choked me, put me through a wall, slammed me to the floor in front of my child, 2 years old at the time, and I was just like, okay, where do I go from here? You can see it all throughout this poem that all I felt was pain. So tonight, we are talking about sex and relationship poetry and what causes us to write these things that we write. So I have some guests with me today. Hello, Ra. How are you doing?
Doing so good. It's a good day for a good day.
Who you be, girl? Who you be?
So, formal introductions. I am Kalon, the radio host of Energy in Motion, which is every other Thursday at 8:30. Tune in. And also voice actress and empowerment professional. Awesome. Get at me if you need to feel good.
I love it.
Lyric.
Hi, I am Ishani. I'm a spoken word artist here in the DFW, writing about sex and relationships. So,
Perfect guest.
perfect day to be here.
Yeah.
Perfect day to be here.
These savage
Truly.
nails, yes.
Girl.
Yes.
Don't put those up to the camera. Don't put
Show them off. Show them off.
I'm a lioness, you know, he be roaring.
So going back to my poem for just a moment.
Yeah.
I relatively despised who I became. You ever had that moment?
Most definitely, yes.
I can't even say despise, but not recognize myself.
Right.
Don't even know who I'm even.
Like,
Who am
who
I?
are you right
What have
now?
I become?
But what happens when we get to that point? I mean, how does that come about? How do you relatively despise the person that you became?
Because you valued who they were more. You wanted to become what you thought they wanted.
Exactly.
Women often making that mistake of thinking, because I'm mainly thinking of when I was dating men, and I was so interested in being what I thought they desired, and they don't want to date themselves. So that's usually the downfall of the relationship. When you start to lose yourself, you lose with them because they don't want to be with them. They want to be with you.
And that's the problem. We end up making them our world, and we are just one thing in theirs. You see what I'm saying? And that's the biggest issue. And it's like
we're compartmentalized.
Exactly.
When
he is the whole galaxy, everything. Like you are everything
the moon,
to me.
The stars, everything.
Right. And meanwhile, we're just a human in theirs, and that's it.
That's it.
And since you brought it up, what's the difference between dating a man and dating a woman?
Well, I would say the difference is the level of, in my personal experience, emotional maturity. But also I have experienced a lot of emotionally immature women as well. So let us not forget. But out of the experiences I had, I grew up, I've always been bi. I now identify as pansexual, but I grew up mainly dating men because those were the ones who made they initiated.
Gotcha.
And so then when I realized I like to initiate, and I don't just like to initiate with men, it became an open field, a larger playing field, and women are all the things men are, but in a tender way. And so when you're dealing with men, you're cradling that ego. When you're dealing with women, you actually can empathize in a way, and hopefully you're with someone who can empathize with you in such a way that the communication will be a lot more clear.
True. Right. And I think it's about the emotional connection to me.
Sets everything.
Absolutely. Yes. And they just get you with that look.
Yeah.
Well, like you already know what that means.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's time to go. Okay.
Don't break this eye contact if you want to.
Okay.
I'm gonna break you off later.
Listen.
Yes.
Versus me,
you know what it is.
Break down that look.
They're like, "What? Are you hungry? You
right?
You bloated? What? You want something?"
That is the worst. I was on a date one time, and he was like, "I'm about to order some food." I was all like, "Okay." I was like, "We can come get an appetizer now."
Yeah.
As in a kiss.
Yeah.
They come get an appetizer now. Oh, no, I'm gonna order 2 appetizers, babe. I'm gonna order 2.
No. That's not what I'm talking about, bro.
Just took me from here to here, like.
Never mind.
Okay, it's a wrap. I was like, I give up. He was like, what you mean? I was like, I just give up. Just know I give up, bro. I'm done. I am done. Okay.
Damn, I don't even realize how we do foreplay at all. You know, I've had to teach a few people.
Yeah.
How do you teach that? How does that go?
So it's everything is about communication.
True.
Right.
True. 100%.
So for instance, I had this man that was a terrible kisser. Terrible. So
terrible. What's terrible to you?
So first of all, he bit my lip. And I don't
like the bad biting. I like the biting.
I don't know. Listen, I don't mean that soft.
Not the nibble.
He bit a bite out of crime.
Oh. Down, boy.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. There's levels, sir.
And I said,
that escalated quickly.
Wait. What happened? What happened? And he was like, what's wrong? I said, you spit me. And he said, I thought you liked it.
You don't like that girl?
No.
You don't like that?
That's what I'm giving you my A+ game, girl.
Best moves.
You know what I'm saying?
And you pulling back. Man.
So you said, what does this look like, right?
Right.
So I really liked him actually.
Okay.
I thought he had all of the good qualities that.
Yeah.
And we eventually broke up for crazy reasons, but we'll talk about it later.
But the kissing was a part of it, though.
Huh?
The kissing was a part of it. It always is. That red flag, don't deny it.
Kissing matters, man.
Kissing.
Oh,
kissing. Okay, I'm sorry.
Why you?
I thought she grabbed him.
I'm just thinking about it.
Okay.
I'm just thinking about it. So my thing is, I like to be kissed tenderly first, and then you can get all into it. Now, whether we gonna lock tongues or slosh a little around, right, grab the back of my head and pull me in, whatever the case may be. But he didn't know how to do those things. He was. Honestly, he had only 2 relationships before me.
Okay.
And they both liked that biting stuff, and they also weren't very good kissers themselves. Come to find out later on in the story.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay. So let me walk you through. And so he was like, what are you about to do? And I said, no, you stop.
Yeah.
Stand there, and I'm gonna lean in, and I'm gonna show you what I like. And he was like, nobody has ever done that to me. I said, ding, 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 ding. You bet that one.
You're welcome.
But I think, and we've talked a little bit about this on my show before, like, that's one thing that people always say, well, I ain't got time to be teaching folks and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, wait a minute. Everybody's not the same.
Exactly.
Everybody doesn't like the same things.
Exactly.
So how is it that I can, you thought I liked nibbling, but I didn't like it. Oh, wait, hold on, guys. So that same person also thought that he could nibble the lady parts.
Okay. I'm gonna take a sip of water.
Okay. I'm so serious. Like, actually nibbled on my lips and my clit.
Oh yeah, no, I believe you.
Yeah.
And sad to say, the first woman I was with, she thought that was okay too.
Okay,
a woman. She got the same bits I got. Thought that was cool.
Do you like that on you or no?
Did she like that on her?
I don't know. Because that's not what I offered back. So I don't know what
because you messed this whole you messed up the
I was
whole
like,
vibe.
even though I was brand new to this, I was like, nah, that ain't it. That ain't what's cool.
Man, that's crazy.
So have you ever been in a position to have to teach somebody something? And what was your reaction?
Yes, I had a situation where they bit your lip, they tried to bite my nipple.
Oh.
I'm like, hey, say, man, listen.
Hold on.
No, but what's crazy is I'm just I really feel like who raised you? What's happening?
What are your manners?
Why would you think that initially, there's levels? You can't.
So you just went straight in to bite the
No, straight in the gate. Wait.
So there was no anything
no, just in the gate, no.
So what did you do about that though?
I said, hey. So for me, I'm like, the more tender, the better.
Right.
The softer, the better. And now you can work your way up to that after you've worked me up to that. But you can't just start with that. No.
Or we gonna stop altogether.
Oh, pump
Games.
Altogether.
Stop, baby.
Game over.
Pump the brakes.
Done.
Do not.
The river runs dry.
Did you teach him? Did you bother to teach him?
I let them know, what the situation was, but he didn't. He wasn't getting it.
Was he receptive or he just wasn't a quick learner? Was he open to being taught?
I don't think he was open to being taught.
Well, then there you go. It wouldn't have mattered.
So for me, I'm just like, okay. Yeah, it was nice to meet you. It was great. This just wasn't meant for us to go there.
Yeah.
You know? Right there?
This wasn't meant to go any further.
Because you can tell a lot from the way someone approaches, the intimacy with
Most
you,
definitely.
the confidence within it, everything.
True, and I feel like the initial, and what's crazy, because I feel like the initial thing is the kiss. So now here's what's crazy. He was a great kisser. So I was like, oh, it's about to be everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean.
And then you was Tony the Tiger.
But
I'm
wasn't
just in there. I'm like, whoa, how, Sway? How? How did you go from being so sensual as a kisser to just a carnivore?
Wait,
what is happening?
Have y'all written a poem about that?
I haven't written a poem about that.
About bad
About
interactions?
bad.
About negative?
Not about bad directions. No.
But
not about bad directions.
I don't think there's anything wrong with teaching people. I think because I'm an individual, I want the opportunity to teach you. And I want you to be very receptive and turned on to being taught, because while there are probably a lot of things that I do have in common with other partners you've been with, there are going to be a couple key things that I need to lift a leg and be like, so right here, follow the arrow around. Right here.
That part.
I need you to pulsate just 5 seconds at best.
Hey, man.
And when I start to twitch, stay right there.
You're heading in the right direction.
You're heading in the, don't
That's
be
a
afraid.
good thing.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
I might lose you, but let me ask this question. Have y'all ever seen, do y'all like Friends at all?
Yeah.
The show Friends.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the one where Monica is teaching Chandler what are the erotic zones are?
Yes.
1, 2.
Yes.
7.
I love it.
Yes! And that's all I really thought about when you said that, because to me it's just so important to actually give those directions to people that and it's not, and for me I have to take a step back with men because they get a little intimidated by what I do, period. But I always go and say to them, listen, everybody's different. I'm not your last girlfriend. You know, I'm not your last wife.
That's real.
And so I like things differently. And it's not to say that you're inadequate.
No, exactly. But I just happen to like what I like. Exactly. Right. I get that. But no, a friend of mine actually just yesterday told me that he was like, you're intimidating. I was like, how? He's like, because you know what you like, you know your body.
That scares them.
And there's a lot of women who don't know their body. So like I think a lot of people that have been with them, like, okay, well they thinking they doing big boy things, the big woman things, and big moves, and no.
And that's a great, because how can we expect women to teach people how to please them if they haven't explored pleasing themselves? And they haven't explored themselves. That's the biggest.
Now you're diving into my coaching territory.
Yeah.
You know, sexuality, intimacy, and relation coach is what I do. So I talk to so many people that don't know their bodies. Yeah. Period.
That's crazy.
And I've talked about, and I'm not going to tell the whole story, but I've talked about this before where I was on top of my Cabbage Patch doll at like 8 or 7 and riding the face of that hard Cabbage Patch doll because I'm trying to figure out
what's going on. What's going on down there.
That was the beginning of me exploring myself. Yeah. Right? So I ask women all the time, have you touched yourself? Yeah. And you would believe 9 out of 10 times they say no.
I would believe it, and it makes me very sad.
That's beyond sad. How do you expect somebody else to please you if you can't please you?
That's what I say.
And then they'll say, because it's their job too. And it's like, no, it's not, bro.
No.
Because when you don't get your nut, it's not their not their problem. It's not their problem. It's your problem.
Because you might, like, let's talk about G-spots for a moment.
Let's do it.
So I know where mine is, right? Yeah. You put your fingers in, do that come hither motion.
Yeah,
still little plumps up when, you know. Yeah. And so I was talking to this man, and he was like, well, I bet I can make you come by your G-spot. And I said, oh, okay.
That'd be great if you did. Thank you.
Right.
That would be great.
Yeah. So he was eating, and he was like, don't that feel great? I'm right on your G-spot, right?
What?
I'm right on your G-spot.
Is that commercial? That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. No.
And I said, wait a minute. Wait. And keep in mind, he hadn't put fingers in. Yeah. He hadn't put a dildo in.
He needed to phone a friend. He needed to call for help. He needed to use Waze. He was lost.
And I gave him this look.
He's like, you like that, girl? You like that, don't you? You like that, girl? No, not at all.
No. Wait. Do you know you're touching my clit, right? You know you're licking my clit. You know, yeah, but that's where your G-spot is. Hold on.
You're gonna tell me where?
Wait a minute.
Right.
You already are wrong.
Time out. Wait. You know my G-spot is inside of me, and he said, "Shut up."
That's a great response. That's a great response. Shut up, girl. Really?
You don't know what to talk about with your body, girl.
He was older. He was like 45.
No, sir. You would not be a grown man.
4 kids.
No, sir.
4 kids later. 2 different baby mothers. So,
but G-spot ain't got nothing to do with sowing your seeds.
So I feel like he got 2 baby mamas right here thinking that's the G-spot.
That's immediately where I went in my head. Like, you got 2 women, at least 2, thinking that you've touched their G-spot, and you have, just not where you thought it was.
Probably,
you know
exactly.
Because you'll get kids. So,
yeah, I mean,
Or maybe they just thought he was hopeless and were like, yeah. You about to be gone.
They like, I'm gonna let you be great.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you be great. Because you got a good job and you keep coming home. So yeah.
I'm gonna let you do what you do. You better hit that G-spot, sir. You better get that. Like what?
So wait a minute. Do you have a poem about that G-spot? I know you do.
About the G-spot?
Or having sex, period. I know you do. I've known you for a while now, and I know you do. I know you.
Now we can talk about, I got a poem called 8,000. You know what's funny? When I preface this poem, I always ask women.
Are you talking about the nerves and the clit?
A lot of women don't know that.
How many
which
nerves?
Is funny. When I say, I was like, my next poem is called 8,000. I was like, ladies, you know what that means? They're like, no.
Because they are unaware.
And I was like, well, you will after this poem.
Man.
Did you finish it? Because I'd love to have it. Oh, yeah, I got it. Come on, wait. You kiss my lips. Soft, gentle strokes. Your tongue softer than silk. The type of head that surpasses milk and can make you cream. I'm talking slow, deliberate passings of passion. You grip my thighs as if in compassion for what you know will come next. My moans tell you there's no need to apologize. Be as disrespectful as you need to be between these thighs.
Come on.
My pearl, the rarest of jewels. With each stroke of your tongue, you create pools. Do not listen to the lips on my face. They are deceiving. They implore you to stop. But my second set begs to differ. Thankful for God's gift of an erogenous zone that has 8,000 nerve endings of pleasure, and I pray you get on every last one. Your lips, I call them Solomon, because they speak poetry when in contact with my yoni. The most tender kisses I've ever had. Your tongue, I'll call him David, because every time I meet him, he slays me. Your hands, I'll call them Caesar, doing everything they can to tame this queen from the far east. You painfully stroke my love slowly, but with intention, waking up each nerve one by one. Although the head is exquisite, you got my body contorting like something from The Exorcist. It's not pretty, but necessary. You compel my body to submit. Now, the human body is 70% water, so I know I'll be dehydrated. Because your lips are hydrated. My hips, I'm gyrating, overflowing. Your sheets never had a chance. My legs quake, my body shivers, and you just keep lapping up this Nile River. Your lips have now been blessed with endless gratitude, and to think this all started with one kiss.
Well.
Can y'all hear me?
Well. Yes.
8,000.
8,000.
There you go.
Audi 8,000, yes.
Wait a minute. Did I just talk? Oh. Girl, it is like that sometimes. Listen. Girl, what? So what inspired you to really write that one? Did something happen?
Sounds like a story.
It's a huh. Listen, I feel like for men and women, there is an art to giving head. And I feel like if you don't, first of all, if you don't enjoy it or don't like doing it, you're never, ever gonna be good at it.
Right. You have to want
to do it. Period. Giving and receiving. So I'm a pleaser, you know what I'm saying? So I like
take pride.
I take pride. I take pride in my work.
In my work. Enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic for real. So that's what I'm saying. Like when you get a partner that likes to please you just as much as you like to please them, and it's just everything, and you just like when you get to a point where you trying to reach, you can't grab, ain't nothing to grab. Like you just like lose yourself in it. Shit, but that is. Oh, you push it down a little bit more. That part. Oh, that way. In there. Yes. Yeah. So speaking of those things, what we got? That's a great segue. Thank you so much, Larry. You're welcome. So y'all know I'm a Bedroom Kandi consultant as well as a sexologist. So we have the undercover clitoris. So listen to me. Don't think it's disrespectful to give this as a Father's Day present. Because it is coming up. There you go. A birthday present. And to our other side, a Mother's Day present. All kinds of things. So because I feel as if, and there was a passage in here, it doesn't require a team of gifted sex researchers to find the ideal spot, tempo, or pressure that your lover needs to orgasm. It's entirely your mission, and there's a very easy way to solve this mystery. Ask! In bed when the moment's right, in the most tender, caring voice you can muster. That is it, right there. I think that is the best advice. That is it. Advice. Ever. Because if you just ask me how I want it, I'm going to tell you. Exactly.
But a lot of people, I think, don't know that can be sexy. And then I think other people who don't know their bodies might shame people who ask them. So if someone's like, how do you want it? Why do you need me to tell you? Right. Like, why you need me to Because you an individual.
Hello?
So I think we have to get to a point where people that's a safe space. Right. And also, if you can't have a conversation to ask a question like that to the person you smashing, should you be smashing?
Nope.
I can't ask you questions during this. If I can't queef confidently.
Hello? Oh, wait.
If
Rachel, you might want to tell them what that is. We do have listeners that might not know what that is.
I cannot allow air to get sucked up in my walls because I laughed or I coughed or whatever happened.
Exactly.
Or you pulled out too quick and so all this air.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
I can't vagina fart comfortably
basically
around you,
yeah,
you can't lay with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That part.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like what's really sad is just like you have to have communication in a regular relationship as far as talking about what I like to do, where I like to go, my hobbies, my things I'm interested in. Same thing in the bedroom.
Right.
It transfers into the bedroom because if we can't see eye to eye there, and as much as people want to make it seem like it's not a big deal, and I feel like a lot of women, because seeing that we don't even hit our so-called or prime, or even begin our prime till 40. We don't even begin it till then.
Right.
Good times coming.
So that ain't even the peak of our prime.
Hello?
So we don't even begin it there until then. Then it's like, for the men, they're kind of, some, not all men.
Not all.
For all you men that's still in there, coach. I'm in there, coach. Put me in, coach. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. But for some men, they're kind of going downward as we're starting to, start to peak. It's just really sad that these women at 40, 41, 42 still don't know what an orgasm is.
Have never reached.
Does not understand that there is a difference between orgasm and coming. There's two different things, and a lot of women don't understand that.
Don't understand that they have 3 holes.
That part.
That way.
Can we talk about that? Or not?
Yes.
I'm just saying, it's a, whether you're married, not married, whatever, we all are curious sexually or know what we like or know what we want. And if we're not getting that from our partner and you can't communicate with them, or they're going to laugh at a queef or laugh at or get defensive because I'm trying to teach you what I like. I'm not your ex, baby.
Right.
She liked you to bite her nipple. Okay, I don't know what kind of BDSM stuff she into. And I'm not, and nothing against BDSM, but just don't start there. That's all I'm saying with me. Don't start there.
Because consent is sexy.
Exactly. 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 There you go. I'm shut up now.
No, you're good. No. You got about this conversation. But so let's go back to the 3 holes part.
Yeah.
So you have your clit.
Yes.
Right? And then right under there is urethra.
Yes.
That's where the pee comes out.
Where the pee comes from. Yes.
And then you actually have your vagina. Your vagina is not that whole organ.
Exactly.
That vagina is the actual place where objects, penises, dildos, whatever else that you might want to stick in there, goes in there.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you have your anus.
Yes.
So a little piece and then anus. Right. Right.
Yes.
So if you didn't know, I'm educating you now. The pearl, urethra, then your vagina, then your anus.
Exactly.
And all of those things can actually give you pleasure too. So,
so y'all were talking about the difference between coming and orgasming. Maybe I'm not educated. What's the difference between coming and orgasming?
Lyric, you want to take that one?
Teach me.
You want to take that one?
I need to know what I've been doing out in these streets.
So I can only speak for me personally. So as far as orgasming, that I feel like an orgasm is just it's uncontrolled. I can't help but I just legs start shaking. You know what I'm saying? I can't, and then whatever comes out, like I said, it ain't pretty but necessary. Got my body contorting like an exorcist, like your body just
twitching.
You know what I'm saying? It's not pretty. As far as
because you can come over without having an orgasm.
So for me, okay, this might be welcome to Candyology. I'm a squirter, so So for me, I don't know how. People are like, how do you squirt? I don't know how not to. I've always, you know what I'm saying. So for me, when I'm coming, So for me, when I'm coming, I'm squirting, and it's not always squirting. Don't get me wrong. And then there's times that I orgasm and squirt, but I just know that the feeling for me is 2 different things.
So what does coming feel like? Pressure? Like a release of pressure versus orgasm is
Yes,
overwhelming?
I feel like, exactly. I feel like coming is just a release of pressure and I'll squirt or whatever, and then orgasming is just a whole nother, I feel it in just, I feel it in the depths of my belly, truly in my loins going down, shooting down, my feet, just, won't he do it? Okay. And there's a difference, but I feel like a lot of people don't know.
I mean, I did not know. I'm not a squirter. I've been with squirters. It's very flattering.
Hey.
It's very fun.
Make you feel like a G, like,
I
did that.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, look at that. Look at what you can do. Oh, aren't you an eighth wonder of the world, you know?
She can't be taught.
Oh.
There you go.
But I wondered, I think I'm more familiar with orgasms. Coming, though, that sounds fun.
It's awesome. The white stuff that comes out.
Yes, that too. Yes.
Okay, so the residue.
The residue
is coming. Okay, well then I am familiar.
The feeling is different though.
Okay.
It's a lot.
I think I'm familiar with the orgasm feeling and with the wet, but I am not familiar with the coming feeling.
Oh man.
So that must be.
It's levels to this stuff.
Yeah,
it's
different.
Patricia, you had something to say, Boo?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, like for me.
Yeah.
Speaking for myself.
Exactly. Everyone.
That's all we can do.
Different. That's all we can do.
And Patricia is our engineer for the night.
I love it.
So coming, it's just like a great sensation. It's just like, oh, thank you, I'm free.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I needed that type of thing.
Yeah. But for me, maybe I can go back and have sex again. Now, when I have an orgasm,
you're done.
Please don't touch me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a wrap.
Okay. See now, if it's like that, then no, I've done both. Then because sometimes I would have called it an orgasm, and then I'm like,
I know my A game.
Yeah. I'm like, there's a whole side of life that I haven't explored.
Yeah.
We normally associate both as the same,
and it's not.
And it's not.
Now I am that over 40, and we have learned the difference.
Right.
Liberation.
Yes, you know.
Listen.
Okay, I just came. That's square.
But
I didn't reach my peak.
Exactly. There you go.
My ex used to call me a nympho, and I'm really not a nympho because nymphos cannot control themselves.
True.
However, I defined it as being insatiable because I need more, and I need more until I have that overwhelming feeling of ecstasy.
Of the big O.
Right, the big O. Exactly. And I would keep telling him, keep coming, let's go. No, come back. And he'd be like, I can't get up and again. Okay, let me suck it again for you.
What we need to do. I'm here for you.
Teamwork, support.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
State Farm is on your side.
So let me tell you something. I am an avid dick sucker, and I like to lick the cat too. But
there you go.
So let me tell you, I thought there was nothing else for me to learn, and I got this book about 3 years ago. And when I say it has opened up the world to all kinds of things, I believe I had a passage in here too. Oh, I did. So it tells you, and tell me if you can see it, Patricia.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it tells you all these different types of ways
that you can hold.
And keep in mind, I knew most of these, but there was a few that I was like, oh, I never thought about.
Sometimes it's good to know the why behind the technique, you know.
So like there's the one called thank you, where you cradle his penis and the U between your thumb and your finger.
Yeah.
Done that several times, but it's called the thank you.
Yeah. They're welcome. They are welcome.
Yeah, they're quite welcome.
And then the sausage wrap, I think everybody's familiar with the sausage wrap. Yeah. Upside down sausage wrap.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But who would have thought? Because I can get it done real well this way, and then when I flipped it over, I was like, oh, he said it was a totally different feeling, and I said, oh, for real, let me try it. And he was like, okay.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting is because kind of like where I'm looking at the picture where the hand is like for men, because I've heard men who are not circumcised, like they feel like men who are circumcised miss a lot of pleasure. Because there's some men who are saying that they can just take like their skin and just and
work it.
So that particular area, like towards the tip, is already super sensitive.
Yeah.
And a lot of people feel like, okay, well, you got to get down to the nitty gritty, and that's fine. But that area is super sensitive.
The shaft.
The shaft.
So,
the shaft is very sensitive.
And I think we all know about
Oh, the grind of the pepper, baby.
And our sister Jill, taught us a little bit.
Yes, she did.
She taught the whole world.
Yes,
All
she
the
did.
citrusy secrets.
Man.
And I said, oh, you sexy little thing, you.
Listen.
Like, come on with it. And then people were like, can we have a Jill Scott party? I said, absolutely. And they're talking about learning how to tickle and tickle. So I thought that was awesome. And I do offer these classes, definitely. I call them head talks. So if you
That's cute.
I like that. That's dope.
So we've talked about a little bit about sex, right?
A little bit,
Yeah, we talked about it. So let's go back though. In the beginning. In the beginning was the word. No, I'm kidding.
The word was with God, and the word is. I'm a PK too.
we in the beginning we got that dopamine going, right? So you're flying high, and I want to say, I think I said this already. Oh, we were talking before. But we're flying high, and then we get to that second stage of our relationship where we've come off of that dopamine. Now we kind of figured some things out. What is that stage like usually for y'all? That there's a power struggle. We're kind of.
That's a good question.
See, so the power struggle part, I have to remember because those relationships were before my prefrontal lobe had fully developed. And so I was not at my best in those situations either. I was susceptible to feeling less than when I was not being validated on an external basis. And so that gave them automatically, because I hadn't gotten right enough with myself, power and an advantage that I could have manipulated back in my favor if I had known what I had. But because I was so externally focused on what do they want, why isn't this working because of them, I wasn't strategizing for my own best interests.
Right.
So that once you have lost the puppy love phase and you are kind of looking at each other like, so this is what you like, this is all the time what you like, and I don't want to be by myself, so I guess I'm gonna work with what you are.
Right.
That area, it feels like a distant memory almost, because a lot of the things I put up with and sat through, I just would like gawk at it now. Like, girl, get your ass up.
Right.
Go home. Go home. We don't even need this. But now that's my response. But back then it was like, well, maybe if I just wait. Maybe if I just, work out like that.
See, but I think a lot of it too is like knowing initially when you're in that dopamine phase, is it just lust? Like knowing like, is this really just lust and we just never should have went further? Infatuation, or is this really something more?
Right.
But if it's not more, you're never gonna get, like once that second stage hits, it's like, oh, okay, you were a season. You were not
a real season.
You was like literally spring.
Stop advertising at that point.
You know what I mean? Like you weren't supposed to be. Next thing you know, you're in a situation for 3-4 years. I'm like, how? So
and I should have stopped at the first and second course.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
For me, I told y'all my marriage was 15. Well, I was married for 14, but with him for 15 and a half, almost 16 years.
Wow.
That second year, I should have ran for the hills.
Girl,
hindsight.
So what made you stay for so long?
Fear of being alone.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. I'm a fixer. And I wanted to try to fix everything, to try to make it work, to see if it was just me that, I needed, it was something inside of me that was making this go wrong.
Yeah.
And every time it came back to, no, it's both of you. Because I'm a very rational person. No, it's both of you.
Yeah.
I pushed to go to counseling, I pushed for us to try to maneuver things around a little bit. Okay, so maybe it's our environment. Maybe we need to get out of our environment. Oh, I'll feng shui this. We'll go to another
solving,
apartment.
solution oriented,
Right.
because you want it to work.
But And I tell everybody that's ever been in this situation, if he puts his hands on you in the first year, he's going to do it again. And he's going to continue to do it again. And no matter how many times he says, no, baby, I love you, and I'm never going to do this again, he's going to do it again. It could be 3 years, it could be 4, it could be 5, but he'll do it again.
It's an option.
Yeah.
It's always an option once it's been utilized.
Always an option. And what's funny is the very first time that he put his hands on me, it was about her brother, actually. We were in college, and he was the president. I mean, not the president. I was the president, and he was the treasurer of our gospel choir.
Okay.
And he thought he liked me, and so he thought I was cheating on him with her brother.
Wow.
Judah's just a gentle spirit.
Right.
A lot of men misunderstand that just because he's a gentle man, they're like, he has to have ulterior motives. No, just a good man.
Wow.
And he told me because my phone died and I called from Judah's phone. And I said, hey, my phone died. I don't have a car charger. I'll be home in just a minute. And so I left a message. In a moment, Judah answered the phone because, I was out talking to somebody else. Judah answered the phone. Hey, Hazel. Hey. She's coming home in just a minute. And he was, and he misconstrued, how that was
going on.
Right.
And so.
But why would you ever have called him from another man who you was cheating on him with his phone?
Why would you?
Like, that's an insult to the game.
Exactly.
He never said this to begin with, though. He said he had his suspicions of me cheating, and I said, no, I wasn't cheating on you. But again, this goes back to previous relationships, because that's all his ex-girlfriend ever did. Yeah. Right.
Baggage.
So, she cheated on him actually with about 10 different women. I'm sorry, men.
I was like,
this is 10. Is she sure about men or at all?
but what he said to me was about 10 different men.
Yeah.
And so when you have a pattern of that, then you go into the next relationship with all of that baggage, thinking, she's
on.
And she's just going to cheat on me, and she's just going to cheat on me. So anything that lends to that scope of your view of how you see things, then automatically, he just assumed that
he could put it in that box.
You called him from another phone, and I was like, it's just Judah. What do you mean?
Right.
And especially at this point, Judah was that was my ace, my homie, like that. I didn't even think about him in that manner, So the struggle became right there. Yeah. But it started way before that. But I had on
rose-colored glasses, honey. Yeah.
So, the struggle is real. And then you move on. If you can get through that power struggle, you have that 5 years with somebody is what they say. 5-year marriage, 5-year relationship, whatever. If you can get through those first 5 years, you might make it. So you move on to that mature love. That mature love.
I look forward to that. I ain't been there.
I got past 5 years. Year 6 was, and we're done.
Oh.
At year 6.
But what happened?
I don't, okay. It was more so.
Do tell.
I'm still waiting on y'all to spit something.
Oh my goodness. No, it was just a situation where I didn't feel like I was a priority. And there was a lack of communication. He didn't feel like there was a problem at the fact that we never lived together during this time. 6-year relationship, never lived together. But he didn't see anything wrong with going weeks, sometimes months at a time with not speaking to me. So one day I decided, I'm not going to reach out. I'm going to see how long it takes. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's uncomfortable.
4 months, all the major holidays.
Nothing?
Nothing. We just happened to speak because we was at a mutual friend's birthday party. And when I saw him, I was like, we're not together, right? We've been broke up for 4 months.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Was he surprised?
Yeah, he was like, I text you.
That's
okay. Okay.
Wait.
That's good.
So we still together, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start calling you every day. I'm gonna start. It's not
I'm
even
gonna
that.
start.
Right.
Why'd you need the reminder?
Right.
Man, say. And my thing is this: if you're not the type to talk on the phone like that, I get that. It's not a problem. But there are many forms of communication. You can text me. You can, you know what I'm saying? Like there's
Audio
other ways
message,
to do it.
anything.
Okay, send a pic, something.
Message
But
in
when I
the
say nothing, finito, not nothing.
You didn't get his text, girl?
I didn't get
That one text?
I never got his text. I was like, when did you send the text? 4 months ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
What the text say? Hey.
I don't even know what it said.
What you doing?
I don't even think he
I'm
remembered.
just baffled that he really thought that. Was he still introducing you as his girlfriend when you saw him at this mutual
Oh,
friend?
no. Because like when he saw it was funny. Because he hugged my friend, who's our mutual friend, gave her a hug, whatever. Then he saw me, and he was like, literally, like we were 12. He was like, from across the room. I'm like, you gonna wave at me? You're gonna wave? You're gonna wave at
to wait?
Oh, that's cute. He waved. I was like, did he just wait? It's time to go. I was like, hey, because I had been to her party for a minute. I was like, hey, happy birthday, mama. But I got to go. He just waved at me. Have a great birthday. He was like, oh, can I talk to you? That's what I was like, yeah, you know we've been broke up for 4 months, right? I mean, I text you. I never got your text. I was like, you haven't checked on me in 4 months.
That's all I think about is anything could happen to me. I ain't worried about you. I'm talking about me. Anything could happen to me.
Anything.
In 4 months.
Anybody.
Hello.
I mean, can we talk? I mean, we can talk. I mean, we're not a couple. We can talk, but we're not a couple.
And even that's generous.
But I'm just like, bruh. Like, and I, to this day, I really feel like he doesn't really see what he did wrong. And we got back together after that, surprisingly.
Say what?
We got back
No,
together
this
after
makes
that.
sense.
Because he was more consistent then. He was more consistent. And it was like a good 6 months later that we got back together. We were together less than a year after that. And that was like, it's a wrap.
It's done this
It's
time.
done. Yeah, it's done.
Wow. I just.
Yeah.
I cannot. Have you ever had anybody leave you for another man or another woman?
I haven't.
Yeah, not long-term relationships, but I've had little assholes. Yeah. I had a dude in high school leave me for I was his beard, and he left me for another girl who left him for a girl. So then he finally just came out and was gay. But he left me for another woman. I was like, nigga, you gay? How you gonna leave me for another woman?
Look, you
I
like
should tell
boys.
everybody that you gay because I'm the one suffering in this situation right now.
Wow.
So there's been that, yes, and then later on, like 4 years ago, a guy that I was dating long distance. He was in Georgia, I was in Texas. He had told me that he made a friend during lunch, and then after that, every couple of days, it got less and less communicating until he just stopped responding. And then 2 months later, on my birthday, he texted me and was like, hey, happy birthday. I was like, what the fuck happened to you? No thank you.
I was like, same phone. Who's this?
Yeah, like,
Listen.
what are you talking about? And,
my goodness.
And he was like, no thank you, and another. I was like, no, because no one asked you to tell me happy birthday. I asked you to tell me what was going on 2-3 months ago. So, once again, the fuck
He had a
happened to
whole
you?
pep talk with himself before he sent that message. Like, she gonna be
happy.
Cool.
I don't know
She
what
gonna be
they
like, oh,
thinking.
it's so good to hear from you. Yeah, no.
I think they really think some part of you is gonna be happy that they thought of you that one time,
Right.
that one day,
Yeah, one day.
that one day.
Yeah.
And he
1201.
told me, he was like, so I thought I, met my wife. Like I met her and we hit it off real big, and long distance has been hard and all this. I was like, why didn't you just say those things?
Right.
Why didn't you just say, I'm fine with all of that. I understand. If I met someone during lunch and I thought he was on, I would have left your ass along the way.
But I would have gave you
But I
the
would have told you.
courtesy
I
to
would
let
have
you know.
told you.
I would have told
Exactly.
you all the
Exactly.
things. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've had that happen, but not anything long term. Because I don't think that's the same as when you've been with someone, you've paid your dues, you've put in time,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, you just go.
That's how you feeling.
Yeah. But that's why I'm poly now, because that way I ain't got to worry about it. You can step out there, but you're gonna come back here though.
Okay.
What you gonna read for them?
What you got?
It doesn't make sense to me how I spend my dollars and cents to be with you, but the scent of you makes me want to cry. Rearranged my life to be the one who you come home to, but out of the blue, she became the one you stayed true to. Deep in my heart is a campaign that beats the sense of knowledge to stay away from you. But edible arrangement, teddy bears, trips to Vegas is where my last cents go to undo. The pain of the scent of you, rose petals, Chick-fil-A runs, and cordon bleu. Who knew those memories would feel like the death of me? For you see, dollars and cents can buy our dividends of love and affection. So God give me the strength to be rid of you.
Wow.
Amen.
That's beautiful.
And I was trying to get rid of him. But every time that he broke up with someone, he kept coming back to me.
They always
Which makes you feel special.
Right.
And not the opposite of which is what it really means.
What it really means
Exactly.
is I'm just your safety net. And you don't really want to be with me. You just like the thought of the safety around the
And I think they slowly start to despise you the more you let them come back. They're kind of like, you should respect yourself more than to let me keep coming back here.
Exactly.
And then you finally get to be like, you know what, I really should. You really should go now. Yeah.
And you never and it takes a lot to let them go. And that's something else that I deal with my coaching services. Like I deal with relationship issues that people are like, I don't know how to let them go. Okay. So in the millennial age of things, and I hate to say it how I'm about to say it, but you can delete and block. Do you understand what those things mean? So I am not a person that normally deletes and block, but in those type of situations, you need to block them on social media. You need to block them. iPhone, we have a wonderful, I don't know if those Androids have that feature as well. iPhone, we have block, and they can't get through.
Do Androids block? Yes.
Yeah.
We do block.
We have blocked too.
And I'm just
Well, iPhone users be disrespectful.
They
boy.
do. Coming for you.
sorry.
You good, boo.
I have both. So yeah, I
But
get it.
I'm just saying, you have the capabilities to do those things. You can even block them from emails. I have one lady that she's a business owner. I said, you do realize, even as a business owner, there is a mechanism on your website. You can block them from getting through on the website as well. And she's like, oh, I didn't know that. I said, because this relationship is toxic. And I think we've all been through, we've had to talk about those toxic relationships.
It's been bad.
And I think even with toxic relationships, now it's depending on the level of toxicity, but I don't like how this generation has gotten to a point now where we really do not take responsibility for like ghosting, fading to black. People don't know how to communicate. People don't know how to like have some courage.
And
You and I don't have to agree.
Crazy to me.
I can be willing and ready to leave this relationship. You can want it all you want, and we can have a conversation, and we
About
both
it
can still
and be
part
done.
ways.
Right.
Yeah. So, but this whole like, well, I'm just gonna block them because I'm gonna delete all the messages and act like it never happened. That is such a surface healing.
Right.
And now, if it's abusive, no, you need to
Yeah.
get whatever you
Yeah.
need to
And
get
that's
away
what I
from
refer
that.
to,
Yeah.
that toxicity that's actually thinking like this particular person was saying how she was kind of stalking him. She was going, she would be.
She was stalking him?
She was stalking him because of the way she felt about him.
Oh. Okay.
And she knew it was a toxic relationship,
Yeah.
but she couldn't get her eyes off of him. Like she always wanted to see everything that he was doing.
Yeah, that's when you do need to block. Yeah.
Okay. Even to the point where she went by his job, just to see if the car was out there.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Possessive like.
what? You gotta stop. He had a new girlfriend,
She didn't
but
care.
kept calling her. And I said, block him. I don't know how to do that. Give me a phone. Give me a phone right now.
She's gonna go in there and unblock him later. You can show her how to do it, but you can't make her do it.
I know. I said, you see this delete button? Delete the phone number. Wait, first, I'm sorry. Block the phone number, then delete the phone number out of your phone. I haven't memorized. Okay.
But see, this is the thing though, and the thing I had to learn in all of those instances, because there were two major relationships that I did not want to get over. I did not want to let them go.
Right.
Until you want to,
Exactly.
you won't. And don't lie to yourself. A lot of people like to lie to themselves. Be like, I'm trying to let them go. No, you're not. You're not trying. None of your actions show you're trying. Your words are lying to me and to you.
Right.
But when someone's actually ready to, it's almost like the path reveals itself as to how to let that go. That's so true.
And as I was talking to her, I said, okay, we're gonna have to do this in stages then. So how long can you do 10 minutes without trying to see him on social media, go to his job, all those type of things? And she said, okay, I can start with 10 minutes. Okay. And now we're going to have to gradually get up to 30 minutes. And eventually she got to a whole 24 hours, and then it became weeks. So, but it's
steps.
It's steps. It's baby steps. You have to.
But I feel like with this whole social media culture, I think it makes it worse in terms of breakups or moving around because you're constantly looking at their page and you've texted them. Oh, he didn't text back? Okay.
But you posted.
You posted. Oh, you out with your boy.
Oh, don't let that act.
Oh, you having fun. Oh, you
don't let that act fool y'all though. Don't let the act.
Oh, I already know. But I'm just saying, like with social media, when you really have when we can constantly update everybody on our lives
on what we want them to think our lives look like.
Exactly.
Because he ain't even having that much fun. He ain't having that much fun
at all.
Yeah. And you didn't lose that much weight. You got a waist trainer, and that's the truth. And we're all lying. So let's just call it for what it is. Everybody's alone and sad at home.
Okay. Just looking like he doing right. So I was like, he had his homegirl house across the street, looking like he had a house party.
Right.
Like, come on,
right.
You know what I mean?
It's like we be in the room taking pictures with our girls.
Yeah. Just crying. Girl, let's take some selfies. Girl.
My face beating. It's all right. Let's just do it.
They gonna love the picture. Like, that's life, girl. In the same room. The same room.
And Ra, I have not heard one poem from you.
I was waiting for there to be a topic or a part that I was like, well, I got something just for that. I didn't have nothing just for the things we said just yet. And then I was like, we're running out of time. I didn't want to impose. So you just want to hear something from me?
You know I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So this is called Velocity. This is for you, boo. There was an undeniable quickness to how I fell for you. It was a rapid, effortless, life-altering phenomenon. I'm recalling the warmth in me that made the room glow as you danced galaxies into the floor. An imminent desire to have your energy close to mine. With your feet stomping, body flexing, arms fluid like water, seconds trickled by like centuries as I watched you, in a crowd full of people, dance with my feelings. How bold you were, long before you even knew who was watching. The universe had just declared you ripe for the picking, and God crafted my hands to pluck blessings like you. I remember even in the cross-faded fog that you looked like home. Your big fanged smile mocking any girl in the room who thought she was too cute to dance. All I knew is that if this astral angel was willing to move, there was no excuse for the rest of us. So I moved on multiple levels. I moved my doubts to the back burner because my best flames were now reserved for my twin flame. I moved my bisexual notch from could I really be with a woman forever to let's skip first dates and go to infinity.
Yes.
Beautiful.
That fit anywhere, honey.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yes, but what was the inspiration?
My lovely girlfriend. Been friends for 3 years, been together for a couple of months now, took our time. Realized at the beginning we weren't who we wanted to be with, and then when we realized we were, we embarked on it. And then because of the freedom that we still want each other to have, we decided we wanted to be open. So I get to have my cake and my ice cream and my pie and my cookies and eat it all too.
So let me ask this question since you brought it up. This poly stuff. Okay. I'm very familiar. However, I kind of want to know how you guys have worked the agreement out. Like, is it okay? I can be with a man, or I can be with a woman, or
yeah. So it's more so because of how we are, we want connections, and so we never want to inhibit the other person from making connections with whoever they are interested in. Right. She's still very aware that I enjoy men. She has no problem with that. She has no problem with the fact that I enjoy women also. She's a lesbian, so she's only interested in women, but she wants me to not look to her to be everything, and I don't want her to look to me to be everything. And so as long as we check in with each other, as long as we're each other's safe place, as long as you being safe in general,
that part,
then we let each other be, and we tell each other the stories.
Huh. That's awesome.
I love it. There's a group on Facebook called Black Poly.
I've heard. I'm slowly inching further and further into it. Trust me, years ago, you would not have ever told me I would be poly. I was too possessive, too jealous. I have grown leaps and bounds. So now I'm like dipping a toe into the water and meeting all the other enthusiasts. So.
Yeah. So would you guys take someone together?
If we both liked them. Yeah, if we both like them, we've talked about that. Every once in a while, if we both find the same person attractive, we'll be like, that could be a third. And it's like, yeah, it could be a third. Yeah, if it's a nice young gay boy who's open to being pegged, please inquire.
Yes.
You know, especially if you got freckles, we like boys with freckles. And then, yeah, and if you are a woman, preferably, you know, either real thick or athletic. She likes them athletic. I like them real thick. Please inquire as well. We're good people.
This turned into an infomercial.
You know,
right.
We like long walks on the beach, van life, you know, things like that.
I love it.
What is it called? Sandals that looks like a sandal.
Sandals commercial. For the gays, yes. Pride Month, shout out. Pride Month.
So you mentioned pegging, like, so have you ever thought about do you know what pegging is?
I do. I do know what that is.
Have you ever thought of that?
I haven't.
She
But
got
I know
that
what
on.
it is, but like, no, I haven't. Like, no.
It's kind of fun, actually.
The way you rub your legs, I feel like it's you enjoy
Okay,
it.
so one of the things that I would really like sexually, and we're wrapping this up. One of the things I really like sexually is to kind of your reaction to things. So if you holler, it sends chills.
If
up
you
my
squirm away.
spine.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. So pegging gives me that pleasure.
I can dig it.
Yes,
I can dig
they
that.
squirming, they trying to get away.
Oh, yeah, it's a power play. It is.
So, you know, to all these pegging people out here, I love it.
Pegging in these streets. Pegging since 1991.
We got t-shirts.
I
got t-shirts.
Okay,
Summer 2019 is coming. It's coming. I love it.
So a couple of things. As a Bedroom Kandi consultant, of course, we talk about all the things that are on our line. So tonight we've been reading some of our reading. Well, we could call it reading. Looking at excerpts from two of our books, Tickle His Pickle and Undercover Clitoris. Before I close out, let me talk to you about my show next weekend. Next Sunday on Candyology
What we got?
is the age-old fight. Men versus women. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, boy.
With the stars of No, I'm Right, LA Runs Dallas, and Nate Price, he will be on, and one of my besties, Devon, and she's a debater.
I work with LA. Yeah.
But yes, they will be on our my show next week.
Cool.
And you don't want to miss this show because I have some crazy questions for them.
Oh, I bet.
And things
Oh,
that
that's
people
gonna be
argue
good.
about all the time. Some things that we've touched on tonight, we will be
Yeah.
arguing about.
I can dig it.
I have so much.
The list goes on and on.
I know. I can be sitting in the room somewhere.
Right.
Look at me.
I mean, you can be a fly on the wall, or you can log into KMWI.
I got you.
Either or.
Definitely.
So this last poem, as we close out, is from our sex poetry book,
Okay.
and it's called Relax, Relate, and Release. The stress of my day has me tense, dealing with this, handling that. My head rings, pain surges, body screaming. Just wrap your arms around me, take me away. My muscles are tight, full of anger. Eyes cry, revealing I need healing. Let me wrap my legs around you and drift away. Too weak to fight, my flesh is burning. Falling into you, my stress melting. Demons vanish, I'm giving in to your comfort. Relax that grip, that hold of tension. Soothe me, move me. Let my mind gather the letters, my tongue form the word yes, and I sigh. Relate with me where I am. Take me away where you want me to be. Give of yourself in my time of need. Relax my happiness deep within my soul, letting me flow that all natural high. I gasp for air, replenish the energy attempting to find its way. Love me with intensity, over and over and over again. Candy, yes! Let me breathe. Just let me breathe. This is Candy, wishing you love-filled days and orgasmic nights.